Coming up, mayhem in Medical Lake over the weekend. Police say one man is responsible for 3 separate incidents, including the deadly shooting of an Eastern State Hospital employee. Plus, protests break out in Portland after the president orders federal troops to the Rose City. Tonight, how local leaders are responding.
Rain returns tonight, and we're talking cooler temperatures and more showers in the days to come.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Over the weekend, the sheriff's office said an armed man may be responsible for the shooting and 2 other incidents on Saturday night. Investigators say the suspect first started a fire in a field next to a Medical Lake grocery store. Then deputies say he went to a nearby home with a rifle and fired several shots. After that, deputies say he went to Eastern State Hospital where he shot and killed an employee in the parking lot. Tonight, that woman's family is grieving this sudden loss. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley spoke with her family and shares what we have learned about her.
Tonight, the family of the hospital employee who lost her life in the shooting over the weekend is grieving this unexpected loss. I've been in touch with her family members all afternoon who say they are still in shock. Now, the medical examiner's office has not yet identified the shooting victim, but we've identified her through her family. The stepbrother of Colleen Hendrickson Bass says she was a guard at Eastern State Hospital. In a Facebook post her stepbrother shared with me, he said, "I will always remember your unique chuckle. It was sweet and warm, and you laughed in a way that made everyone around you feel at home. You will always be a part of me, and your light will continue to shine through those who loved you. I love you, and I will miss you." Now, investigators say the suspect shot Colleen in the hospital parking lot, then took her radio and made statements about an army coming. A deputy on scene shot and killed the suspect. This evening, we still don't know anything about the shooter or their motive, but we are expecting more details from the sheriff's office later this week. I also learned from Colleen's family that she was also involved in the Lilac City roller derby team. Tonight, they are mourning this loss as well. On their Facebook page, the group describes Colleen as a teammate who had unwavering kindness and peaceful strength. Reporting in Medical Lake, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
How or when Travis Decker died may forever be a mystery. That is the message from the Chelan County coroner, who says an autopsy is not possible, and that's because only bones were recovered and not all of Decker's remains were found. None of the bones had fractures, which would likely rule out a fall. The coroner told our sister station in Seattle his office always tries to get families answers.
With this high-profile event, everyone wants to know how he died and did he kill himself, and that's part of the reason I send out the media release, is because everyone's so interested, and there's just not enough remains at this point to ever get that answer.
Prosecutors charged Decker with killing his 3 young daughters at a campground near Leavenworth back in June. All right, let's talk weather on this Monday with Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legout. Jeremy, officially in fall as of last week. Now it's starting to feel more like fall.
Yeah, the weather is finally cooperating, and today winds up the warmest day in the foreseeable future. Big turnaround, and believe it or not, we're still above those seasonal norms. Looks like we topped out around 72 degrees today. Our average high is supposed to be around 68, so it's about 4 degrees above it. What I find more interesting was our overnight low was still in the 50s when we're supposed to be falling back into the 40s, and quickly it's getting to the mid-40s. We sit in the 70s. Enjoy it, though. I know it's a little cloudy, but enjoy it. Next few days winds up quite a bit cooler, especially with more rain in the forecast. Right now, most of our showers are staying in western Montana or over in the Cascades. As we move through the next couple of days, we will see those showers here. First round arrives overnight or early tomorrow morning. We catch a break through the middle of the day and even see a little bit of sunshine tomorrow. Then the next wave arrives tomorrow night. That moves in after dark, and it moves through and moves out, and Wednesday brings another round of scattered showers. So think of it this way, on and off. You will catch breaks. When you see the break, take advantage of it because more rain will return. But that rain arrives along frontal boundaries, the little waves of energy, and they drop our temperatures. Tomorrow, we top out in the upper 60s, then mid 60s, and then it looks like we stay there, even as sun returns later this week.
Jeremy, thank you very much. In Oregon, the National Guard confirming that troops are being processed now and could be available for service in the Rose City by later this week. Kyle Aboshi from our Portland sister station has the details.
A federal judge has been assigned to the case with a hearing expected later on this week. Meanwhile, the Oregon National Guard confirms the troops are being processed and could be available for service later this week. Oregon's Attorney General Dan Rayfield filed an emergency motion Monday in federal court seeking a temporary restraining order to block President Trump's deployment of National Guard troops to protect the federal immigration building in Portland. The motion argues that local law enforcement has the situation under control, and adding federalized troops will make it worse. Portland Police Chief Bob Day.
I don't see the need for the National Guard at this time. I really believe that we've got a handle on it.
For several months, a small group of demonstrators have camped in front of the ICE facility in southwest Portland, leading to occasional clashes with federal agents protecting the building. Some protesters have blocked federal vehicles, vandalized the building. There have been more than 24 arrests since June.
I'm confident that the resources of the Portland Police Bureau can manage incidents and actions that are occurring down there in South Waterfront.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth sent a memo to Oregon Governor Tina Kotek Sunday ordering 200 members of the Oregon National Guard into federal service for 60 days. A spokesperson for the Oregon National Guard confirmed it's in the process of mobilizing the troops to help protect federal property, and they could be on the ground by later this week. This weekend, Governor Kotek and other local leaders told Trump Portland does not want or need troops to intervene.
When people cross the line, there's unlawful activity, people are being held accountable. This is not an insurrection. This does not require military troops in an American city.
Oregon's emergency motion claims the president lacks the authority to deploy the Oregon National Guard, which is typically reserved for disaster relief, such as wildfires or flooding. The Oregon National Guard says that some of their troops are specially trained in crowd controls, and those are the ones likely being deployed. What role they will play in protecting that federal immigration office in Portland and coordinating with federal agents is not yet clear. In Portland, Oregon, Kyle Aboshi.
Following the latest developments in the Rose City, leaders here in the Evergreen State are taking steps to make sure the president doesn't overstep his authority, they said, by sending troops here. This morning, Washington Attorney General Nick Brown joined Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell and other leaders at City Hall. He called Trump's threats authoritarian and says city leaders are working to protect people's rights.
We do not need the federal government bringing in armored vehicles, semi-automatic weapons, military personnel to make quote-unquote us safer.
We are working very closely and stand with our fellow cities in Portland, in Los Angeles, the District of Columbia, Memphis. And we want to make sure that we will be ready to respond if Washington State is ever put into the same position.
Mayor Harrell says that he will issue an executive order to protect communities, strengthen policy, and maintain local control. Coming up next on KREM 2 News at 5, the UW student accused of shooting a WSU football player back in the Inland Northwest tonight. Why he says he should be released without bond. And time is running out for Congress to avoid a government shutdown and hundreds of thousands of layoffs across the federal government.